Morning, people.
Morning.
Good
Morning, sweetheart. That's
It's a wonderful morning, Monday morning, eh?
Wake up, morning.
Nah. It's more like, get up.
Yeah. Fast.
It's 5:30.
Hey, come. Jim.
Yeah.
Oi, boy.
So, Kyle,
Uh-huh.
how are things?
I am good. That's the worst small talk question. I hate to hear that. But a good boy. You know why I hate to hear that? Because it's trauma off.
Okay.
Like, I feel like a therapist. Like
Right. You're about to...
I'm like, hey, what do you mean? Wait,
Yeah. You're too much
talk
feelings.
to my wife?
Yeah.
But honestly, come to think of it, I am good. I am blessed. I am hyper to be here. It is a beautiful morning. How are you?
I good. Can't complain. And, to the fellow listeners and those are viewers, make sure and subscribe to our channel Monday mornings.
That is the worst segue. I thought he going to tell you all, hey, how you doing? To my fellow
You're
listeners.
good.
Put how you're feeling in the comments. I hope everything good with you.
No, you're good.
Man.
But how else you'll feel good if you're not subscribed? You gotta subscribe.
I mean, you're not wrong.
You gotta subscribe.
And if, to my fellow listeners, if you're not listening to on YouTube, leave us a review on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. It will mean a lot. It actually really helps the podcast go places. The algorithm is like, oh, somebody, Keith from Tunapuna, leave a review. All right, let me send it to Candice from Piaco. That's how it works. So please.
Right.
Yeah,
Excellent.
man. Let's get into it. Keevo, I know when we were talking about what we want to talk about today, you said this phrase, a voice note, accidents happen. So tell me what you even mean, bro. What are we talking about today?
Well, every Monday morning, you know that traffic can lead to obviously accidents.
Yeah.
But on a creative sense, you know that on your destination or your journey to your end point, you know that accidents can happen. Accidents, in this sense, is failures.
Oh.
Right? You can hit some type of bump, some type of pothole. How do we deal with failure as creatives?
Yeah, because it's inevitable. Accidents happen, however you're prepared, you can't prepare for every single thing, and accidents come your way. Yeah. And sometimes, most times, if you're up to the task, you could be better for it.
Yeah, very true.
Right, nice,
very true.
Okay.
So for me, I always see an accident as a lesson to be learned. Right. Most importantly, from my safety background, they always say that when you investigate an accident, you can see what the process was that led to that.
Oh.
And when you investigate it, you now know what not to do. Right? So for me, learning as a creative and in my space as well, working with my brand, building my brand, etc., I have had those types of failures.
Yeah.
Right? And I now had to reanalyze. Sometimes people don't do that. Sometimes people say, I bounce my car. Yeah. All right, let me just keep driving.
Oh, you know what? That's not my fault. Let me, yeah.
Right?
They kind of ignore either their responsibility or ignore the accident.
They ignore the accident. And for me, it's really a time for you to now reassess.
Yeah.
What do I do to avoid me getting into that same accident once again?
So basically, sometimes an accident is a pause.
It's a pause.
And there's an opportunity to take a look at what's happening.
Yeah. And you know what's interesting about accidents? Sometimes you are even told that an accident may happen before it actually happens.
What do you mean by that?
So you're driving a car and you suddenly see something in the dashboard blinking.
Fair enough.
Right?
Yeah.
And you're like,
all those lights is not for decoration.
Those are decorations, dog. That's not Christmas lights.
Okay.
Right? And it's telling you, listen, you have to pull to the side. Something is going on.
Hey, check
but
battery.
You just want to get to your destination.
Yeah.
And you don't pull to the side. You don't check it. You don't call the mechanic, nothing like that.
Yeah.
And now there's a bigger issue for you to deal with because you didn't spend time with the small indicator, the near miss.
You're right, boy. Yeah. And sometimes God gives us that grace. People in our lives, they say, hey, bro, check your battery.
Yeah.
Go and get some sleep. You might crash.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Try to think of other car metaphors, but I can't think of it. But God says, hey, bro, I'm showing you a sign. It's your choice because God, he gives us the choice. You know what I mean? Check up on yourself. Then sometimes we don't and we cause the accident.
Yeah. And, one of those things that I would say that are indicators, I would say is burnout as a creative. As a creative, I could personally say that I suffer with burnout very often.
But Keevo, you do what you love. How can you suffer for burnout?
When you do what you love, you feel as though you have to do it all the time because the ideas are endless.
Correct.
I need to do it from 6 in the morning to 6 in the night, and I don't manage the time properly because my mind is always going.
Yeah.
But there's an indicator that says, wait now, the allergies come back.
Yeah.
Wait now, your eyes red.
Facts.
And you use that now because the world says hard work.
Yeah.
You use that now as an indicator that, hey, you're working hard.
Facts.
That time, your body's saying, please give me a rest.
Facts. Sometime I was sick and my voice was hoarse, and this happens real often. And my wife was explaining to somebody, like they probably said, why Kylo is so sick?
Yeah.
And my wife had to say, no, he's just like, he's working out plenty, so like his body's just shut down.
Yeah.
And I was like, damn. Like when she said that, I was like, she know that's a habit.
That's a habit.
That every single month I crash for 2 days.
Right.
My voices get raspy and yeah, boy, but I'm not good.
It's not good.
Yeah.
So with a creative, obviously you think creative and you think limitless boundaries.
Yeah.
But should we now have boundaries that ensure that we continue to create for a longer period of time as opposed to creating all the time?
Yeah, continuity. And that's something I actually admire about your career. You're old. I don't know if you know. You've been around.
Yeah, as you can see, right? There's a hairline there and there's no hairline here now.
And you've been around, and I know something you always talk about is you always think about the future. You always think about continuity, and you have a kind of sometimes a self-restraint. So that you're not expelling yourself too much. Yeah. Right before we even started, he was like, I need a 3, 2, 1. I need a counter. And I'm like, why do you need a counter? You do this all the time. And he's like, no, I need to flip the switch. And that kind of implies you save your energy for the camera.
Yeah.
And that's something that a lot of young creators like me, like maybe you're listening, we kind of don't understand. We just overdo it with the energy. Yeah. We think too much. We work too much. We're excited now.
Yeah.
Yeah, boy. How did you learn that?
It was kind of forced upon me because responsibilities came.
Fine.
You understand? Family.
Yeah.
Marriage. Loans. Right? Responsibilities came. So I now told myself, listen, I have to be present for those that are important to me. And I also have to ensure that, when the loan calls or whatnot, I already have that inside. So there's a responsibility of time management that I needed to have because I can't allow myself to get to a point where I'm not well. Yeah. Expenses are being spent on me as opposed to things that I love.
Right. You don't want to become your own liability.
That's it.
You need to plan and manage your own self, your time and your resources and your body so that you're always an asset, not a liability.
Exactly.
All right.
So your body is the machine. In essence, it's the vehicle.
That's the car. Yeah.
That takes you from point A to point B. So if you are seeing indicators of certain failures that could occur, you have to go to the mechanic. And whatever that mechanic is, it could be the beach, it could be sleep, it could be therapy. It
family.
Could be family. It could be whatever it is, but that is important so you don't fail at what you're trying to achieve.
Yeah, so this is a sign right now. If you was asking for a sign, I know you're probably listening to this dog tired. You probably get up. You probably spent too much time working last night. Your dog tired. Hey, go and get yourself checked. Please, because we don't want any more accidents.
Yeah.
Keevo, I feel like people think we're best friends, but we're not. I don't know you from nowhere.
I don't know how I'm from nowhere.
I'm trying to bond with you because you don't have issues and I need more male influences in my life.
Yeah. Let's see what can happen. Let's see if we can get our best friend. Right,
I want to see if you could think about what I'm thinking about.
Okay,
you know
let's see.
So this is a very popular game. I see it and stole it from another podcast. Don't subscribe to them. Subscribe to us because that's all Keevo talk about.
Yeah.
I'm not a part of this anymore. Listen, we can't talk about that now.
Yeah.
All right. I'll see you all in the comment. I'm going to think about a random word and he's going to try to guess that word, kind of try to, connect with me on that level, brethren. And all the clues you're going to get is numbers.
Right.
So like, let's say if it's table and you say desert, I'm saying 0. But if you say chair, I say 95 because that's very close to table.
Right.
Ready? All
okay.
Right. I'm going to lock in a word and then we'll try it and we'll see who can guess it faster, right?
Yeah.
Okay, I have the word in my mind. Go.
House.
10.
10? Roof.
20.
Sky.
30. Try something else.
Trees.
0.
Desk.
1.
That's basically everything I have, right? There's nothing else in the world, right? Car.
5.
Sky.
You're the worst. You said sky already. You hate me. Rain. Oh, 0. All right.
How can you say sky?
You're
It's
right.
in the sky?
It can be.
Okay.
Right.
Balloon. Kite.
0. I probably pick a real bad word.
You think a terrible word? What is that?
10 hours later. Just say hate, man.
Kyle, I don't know why. I don't know why.
Yeah.
Just tell me what the word is.
Should we tell them what the word is?
Tell me what the word is because the podcast is supposed to be 20 minutes.
Light was the word.
Light was the word?
Yeah. I realized Keevan not good at games. That's what I realized.
That is a terrible word.
Is a word.
Let's go with objects and a little more specific.
So it's my fault, Keevo, I guess.
Light could be anywhere. So you went to the sky and in a house there's a light.
How am I being victim blamed here?
Sunlight, you know?
Skylight.
All right.
All right, cool. You take us.
Should I go?
Yeah, go ahead. Let me get us a tree. I'll show you.
All right. I have the word in my head.
Okay. Refrigerator.
40.
Oh, you see, because I care, because I listen. All right, I listen, I care. He's a celebrity. He don't care what we eat. He don't care what we eat. All right, cool.
Whoa.
Interesting. Kitchen.
50.
Let's go. Knife.
Still 50.
This is way more stressful than I thought.
It is.
I thought this was gonna be a fun game.
It's not easy. I think it had to be scripted. Yeah.
All right.
There's one listener right now. Like, you see me? Let me go on with. Yes. Sorry about that. You leave a comment.
You're right.
Yeah.
Tag, subscribe. Okay, so if fridge was 40, knife was 50, is it in the kitchen? It has to be in the kitchen, right? Yeah, go ahead. Yeah.
I would say still 50.
Okay, so it's almost our appliance. It's not our appliance.
Yeah.
All right. Don't say anything.
No, yeah.
What is it? Here it is. If you guess it, I'll be rapping stuff. Give my hint now, because I gave you a hint sometime.
No, you didn't. But keep going.
Fair enough.
Keep going. I like how you say cutting board. That's what I was telling you.
Bet. Say no more. I was going to say counter, but I was like, that's an arbitrary
60,
thing.
65.
Marble.
Huh?
Marble.
70.
Island.
Huh?
Island.
65. Yeah, that's it.
I was going to say kitchen sink.
The sink.
How dare you? You're fine. How dare you?
The kitchen sink. This episode was sponsored by Twin City Studios. Listen, it's an amazing, amazing location. You want to do a podcast, you want to do video editing, you want to do a music video, photo shoot, anything you want.
As we enter, like,
you
so
feel the creativity.
Like,
I really like it, boy.
Other studios have like, it have the lights, it have the studios, it have the nice white background and stuff, but they don't have this energy. Like you just feel to create when you come in here. Definitely. And what I like about anything is that everything feels so new because they're new.
Yeah, I mean, like, I can smell the freshness now.
Yeah, boy.
Yeah. That's not bleach.
So we're happy that they're partnering with us. Powered by Trinity Studios. There are a lot of creators out there. You can definitely use this facility. And what I love is that the team is very helpful. They're giving us the same energy. They're giving us suggestions on how to set up.
I like that.
So good service, full service studio. Please check them out. We'll leave all their information in the description.
Yep.
If you don't mind, I want to ask you a couple of questions because, as I say, you've been around a while. You know what I mean? You're about to collect pension. And that means... And I think there's some wisdom. You were telling me kind of off mic just now. That's a podcast term, off mic.
Right.
Yeah, you were telling me a personal story about like one of your failures. I don't know if you want to start there, but I know for sure from hearing what you're saying, it's not cliche. Accidents do happen and it's inevitable.
It's inevitable. And on a personal level, during my comedic career, because, content creation online and comedy is two different beasts, right?
Facts.
So in my comedic journey, wanted to be a stand-up comedian, I would have worked with somebody who was a promoter and he said, listen, come and do some stand-up, etc. And I did 6 shows. And
this is a pretty big big crowd, pretty big promoter.
Big promoter, big crowd. And I'm like, yeah, I'm giving out now. But no, right? I was humbled very quickly. And I'm talking about booed for my entire set. I didn't even finish the set. Right? Men felt nuts at the stage at me. Right? And I'm like, what is going on? Right? It was a difficult thing to navigate to have to come off the stage when he didn't finish what he had to do. Right?
Wow. Wait, so the first time it happened, was that the first time you got booed?
Yeah, the first time I performed was, no, actually the second time. Okay. The first time was pretty okay.
Okay.
But the second time, I went in with confidence.
Right.
And they said, yo, who is this man?
Jeez.
Wait, come off the stage, boy. And nuts start to fly. Claps start to happen in between my set. The slow claps? And I'm like, all right. Well, good night, everybody. Bye.
Wow.
And honestly, I was ready to leave immediately. And I was on my way to the car. And one of the other comedians said, yo, you have to understand, this country is very vast in terms of what they see as comedy. And I learned that my comedy just didn't fit that crowd.
Right.
I thought, you're funny, you'll be funny everywhere. Right? It's are people who don't like Dave Chappelle. Which is very, very odd.
Facts.
But to me, they're wrong, right? So I learned that you need to know what lane is for you, right? So
to avoid accidents.
To avoid accident, you need to know where your lane is. Now, if you want to veer off into the other lane, at least put an indicator because you'll get bonked, right? So at least let people know, I'm coming to try this. And if you realize, wait now, this lane too fast for me, boy.
Yeah.
Pull to the left or pull to the right, right?
So what was your mindset there? Did you feel, so like, it's one thing to fail and it's another thing to feel like a failure. Yeah. Did you feel like a failure?
No, I didn't feel like a failure because I guess I learned very early from my uncle that failure is an event. It's not a person. And he gave me a very, very vivid explanation.
Yeah.
Where if you were to hold a bottle of water in your hand, a small bottle of water, for 10 seconds, it's going to feel very light.
Yeah.
But if you hold a bottle of water for 8 hours, 12 hours, 15 hours, it's going to feel heavy, but it's the same weight.
Yeah, boy.
So it's the same thing with failure. You just have to hold a bottle of water for one period of time and put it down. But oftentimes with failure, we hold on to that failure from common entrance or whatever happened for the rest of our lives.
Yeah.
And that failure is going to be felt within your body and you're going to experience everything else through the lens of holding that bottle.
It colors how you interpret the world.
Exactly.
I remember even, you talking about your failures in comedy. Of course, like, this is a whole different podcast, a whole different episode, but like thinking about my failures in comedy when I veered off my lane and wanted to try something, I consider myself a pretty confident person, but like hearing so much people, for you it was a crowd, for me it was like legit thousands of people.
Right.
For hearing so much people telling you up something, calling you a name.
Right.
If you hold that water long enough, you start to think it's your arm. You start to think you can't let it go.
Yeah.
And I really, really love what you said. Failure is an event, and an event has a beginning, has an ending.
Correct.
And it's really, really important to understand it's not a person, it's not a personal thing. It's something you experience. Sometimes your fault, sometimes not your fault.
Yeah.
But you have to know when to let the bottle of water go.
That's correct. And the thing about failure, if you understand energy, right, understand the spiritual realm as well. When you label a bottle with an X, it might have water in it. But you're going to be apprehensive about actually opening that bottle because the label says something.
Right.
So when you label yourself as failure, people are going to read that. They're going to feel that.
That's so true.
Say, I don't think I want to hire Kyle for this.
That's so true.
You understand?
Yeah, that's so
when
true.
you already tell yourself I'm a failure, immediately opportunities are going to dry up.
Yeah.
So it's really, really important to make sure that the labels that you have on yourself that are intangible are good ones.
That's so true. I really want to like take a minute and talk about that because as I say, like somebody who like no matter how confident you are, no matter how shy you are, like we tend to place these labels of confident, of shy, of depressed, of not good enough, all of these things on us. And of course, it's informed by our experience. It's informed by some truth, but it's important for us to be in control of those own labels.
In control.
I always kind of think about like, what was one of the first things God instructed man to do? And it was to name things.
Yes.
You know what I mean? And in that Genesis account, not to get too like preachy or anything like that, this is a lot.
Yeah.
There's a poet called Kendall Hippolyte, and he has from St. Lucia, I believe, and he has a very, very powerful. I'll throw it in the description so you guys can take a read as well.
Okay.
Like about labeling and how like that was kind of one of the man's first responsibilities and how important it is and how it separates us from every other thing in creation.
That's correct.
Yeah.
Correct.
Boy.
And you know, I like how you talk about naming things, eh? As I said, not to be too preachy as well. They said name the is it etymology or
etymology.
Etymology. The name means we. Right? So when Christ talk about do things in my name, it means in my way, the way in which I do things.
Interesting.
So when you think about a well-known name in Trinidad, so let's think about Sabga.
Yeah.
They're known for business.
Yeah.
Right? So that's their way. So when you label yourself with a name, there's a way in which you're going to operate. Yeah. Whether it be voluntarily or involuntarily. So I am confident. Confident has a way of doing things. Failure has a way of doing things. So when you name things, name actually means way.
Yeah.
So do things in my name. That means, you know.
Facts. So, be careful what you're calling yourself. Be careful how long you pay attention to those accidents, because when you call yourself something, you give other people permission to do it.
Yes.
I remember exactly what you're saying. In my times when I was down, when I was thinking myself as a failure, that's the energy people were treating me with.
Yes.
And I couldn't understand why. I thought everybody was just against me. But it's because it was starting from me.
Yeah.
Yeah, boy. So, I mean, I'm not sure where you are, you're listening right now, but like, what's your name? What do you call yourself? And if you are calling yourself something that doesn't serve you, right, and you know that is not true and it's not what God wants for you, stop that from today.
Stop it.
And call yourself by your name.
Yeah. And, you know, stopping it is a process, right? But action items. How do you work on stopping it? One thing I learned, we live in a digital world, and everybody has passwords, right?
Right.
All my passwords are affirmations, right?
Same, bro.
Yeah.
Same.
All my passwords are affirmations. So I attract love and wealth. That is, you know, I can't say the rest because
I want to say mine too. I want to say my company's own. It is like legit. Yeah.
So every day you're going to have to write that and think that now. So how do you ensure that you're always saying something positive mentally? You just use your passwords. That's a good stuff.
I want to talk about that so much, but it needs to talk. Like when I started, the only day job I ever had, right? Like I said, some version of work hard, Kyle.
Right.
I reminded myself that every single morning I have to type that in.
Right.
Everything, and it truly is a reminder, like, my guy, no matter what nobody say, dog, you showing up today.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's so true. And now my company has one as well. And exactly what it is exactly what is happening with my company.
Correct.
Yeah,
Correct.
Boy. So
manifestation.
Facts.
Yeah.
And that's some weird and thing. And all they could like teach his own. We not like, hey, but
it is real. I don't care what anybody say. It's real, dog. Yeah. I mean, speak, you know, life and death power the tongue.
I experienced this as a listener today, and I feel very pumped and I feel very encouraged, and it seems like I'm marching order today, and I hope you guys are feeling that too. Yeah. Failure is an event. It is not a person. Failure is an event. It has a start date. It has an end date, and guess what? You're in control of that end date.
Yep. Very true, Kyle. That's a fantastic way to end, though. Right?
You never end good.
Yeah. That's my staple, right? I just passed the baton. Yeah. Kyle is Usain. I just started off, right?
Have a good week ahead.